Welcome everybody to Incubator Weekly today. Hang on, just lost Mikhail there. Let's see. Different setup on StreamYard. I'm still trying to get used to. How do I add you back? Okay, I'll show your screen again, Mikhail. If you could go something off of StreamYard, we'll just go right into your. Actually, I'll go into my demo first. I mean, not that I have a demo, but my presentation. I don't really have a demo, but I did want to do a high-level overview of some things. So yeah, welcome to the show today. We've got Mikhail. Mikhail's been working on the two things: a Wasm-based JavaScript SDK, as well as an extension wallet, which we'll be discussing. And 1 minute, just a minute here. Let's get both of us just on stage. Okay. Yeah, now I can focus a little bit better. So why don't you just give us a rundown of what you've been working on for the past month, Mikhail, and then we'll go from there.
All right. So I was working on the Dash platform extension, which will allow an integration of dApps in the browser through the extension. So the main reason for that is that we would like to have some kind of connection on the websites to your seed phrase, to your wallet, which holds the seed phrase, but we don't want to share the seed phrase, the private keys, to the website itself. So we've been working on the Dash platform expansion for the past 2 months, I think 2-3 months.
Mm-hmm.
And we finally got something stable, which is working, and we finally released it in the Chrome Web Store. So It was published recently. I thought it would take much more longer time to approve it in the Chrome Web Store, in the official extension. Yeah. So why is it needed? So it will gives the developer an API to connect your wallet in an easy way, and you can create documents, you can delete documents, and actually perform any platform transactions without asking the user for the private key, as I said before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
and I actually you probably have that extension installed already on your computer.
Mm-hmm.
I tested it out yesterday and it does work. So for me remotely, and so everything's working there. I did want to show people that whole process of going to your demo site, and then installing the extension from scratch and using the site with the extension, and see how that whole flow works from start to finish. So that's what I'll probably help demo at first. But was there anything else that you wanted to say before we jump into that, or?
I would like to show the extension, how it's currently working, what's our plans, and what already have been done. There was a lot of work in the SDK, which goes together with the extension, because we needed an SDK to show all of the information inside the extension. We've integrated the proofs for the SDK, so every query that you do to the API through SDK, it works and it verifies through the Wasm bindings, drive bindings. Yeah, so it was mostly the extension and SDK work to make it all working perfectly together.
Cool.
Yeah.
I think before you show the extension, I want to show installing the extension, and then I'll pass it over to you after that. Just real quick here. Alawi says, glad you're streaming about this. Was just about to ask how the Wasm-based JS SDK was being tested on Discord. I think he meant ask on Discord, not tested, not testing the JS SDK on Discord, although that is a possibility, adding a Discord bot that uses the JS SDK, I think.
Right.
So that would be fun. One thing I did want to mention before we jump into the demo is there's obviously been some progress on both your end and DCG's end, both creating a Wasm-based JavaScript SDK. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that as well. I want to demo both of them, or at least show both of them. DCG did a demo last sprint review. What are they called now? No, they're not sprint reviews anymore. Whatever, development reviews. Last time they showed that. But I just wanted to kind of compare and contrast what you're working on and what they're working on, because obviously people need to make a choice about which tools they use when they're developing for Dash platform. So with that said, I'll go ahead and jump into my screen share. And I'm going to start with just the repos, just so that people know where to find these things. Your work is being done under github.com shenmik/dash platform SDK. That's where the SDK is. And then the extension is a separate repo for Dash evolution.
No, that's not. That's the dep. That's the dep. The Chrome, it could actually, it's searchable in the Chrome Web Store. We can just.
Yeah, I'll just look at
Oh,
that.
here, yeah.
Repos. There's the SDK. This is the demo
The
app
last one,
that we'll be doing, and then the Dash platform extension is right here. So 3 different code bases that you've been working on, and then for DCG's code base, it's under Dash Pay on GitHub, Dash Pay platform, and then this is a mono repo that has lots of different repositories underneath it. So under packages, you go to JS SDK, JS-SDK, and that's where you find the JavaScript SDK that DCG is working on. In terms of NPM packages, your code is released on NPM as an NPM package that people can install using npm install dash-platform -SDK. And it looks like your latest release is 1.1.1, or you've got a release candidate for 1.2 as well. And just a quick note about bundle size, because that's been a big topic as well for me, at least. Your bundle is coming in at 2.4 megabytes for the SDK. And that would be minified and gzip. That's what comes across the wire when somebody downloads it from when people visit.
Not bad. I didn't know that.
Yeah. You didn't know that? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I thought it would be 7 megabytes.
Did I said megabytes?
No,
right?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I didn't think that it gzipped before transmitting over the wire. Anyway, yeah, it's cool that.
Yeah.
I think the DCG Wasm SDK also, it's near about 10 megabytes, which is gzipped will be like, I think 3 or 4 megabytes also.
Yeah, so when I'm flipping screens, I'm working with 2 windows here. So this is the window that's all of your stuff. It's kind of got this red tint to it. And then when I flip over here with just the black, this is a different profile, and it's this is the DCG stuff. So for DCG, the npm package currently is pointed to the previous Dash SDK, which is being retired. So just so people know that this 5.1.0 dev.1, I believe, is still pointing to the old SDK, not the current one that they just demoed last week in their development review, but the old one. correct me if I'm wrong there, but yeah, when I don't think that since they did that repo, I don't think that they've cut a release on the for the new
Actually,
SDK.
it looks like a new SDK. Actually, 13 megabytes. Last time we checked the Wasm SDK, it was kind of 13 megabytes. But maybe I missed something. Or
I think it might be the new SDK, but it probably isn't the latest one demoed by. And so
okay,
that
yeah.
that latest one that was demoed by DCG had all the proofs and all the functionality. We will look at that in a minute. So I expect this size to be significantly different. Maybe not significantly, but different. So that's coming in at 5 megabytes. And this dependency graph is the one that's being retired. Your dependency graph looks like this. This is the dash-platform SDK. That's coming from you. This is the name that it's given on NPM, Node Package Registry, just so people know that. And then these are all of your dependencies. So it's roughly, size is roughly equivalent to the size of the package itself. So I did notice also that you're using some of the stuff that AJ built, -HD, -keys, -phrase, for some of the core stuff, at least, dash incubator, SCP, CP 256K1 curve. And then, so that's a very clean dependency graph, is the main idea there. This, like I said, DCG's, this is the old one. That will probably be significantly cleaned up next time they cut a release. And I think that they are going to get rid of a bunch of this stuff. So that's great. And then what else was I going to show? Oh, I wanted to mention also, it looks like for the composition of your packages, here's the dependencies. This is just a different view of the dependencies, showing the size. The Wasm drive verify submodule or package is the heaviest part of that. And then the DPP, this is the also Wasm-based platform protocol package. And then the package itself, the code that you wrote is here. And then here's all these other dependencies. So like the -keys stuff that AJ wrote is one of these small ones, for example, just to give people an idea of what the dependencies look like, because that's important both for performance, but also supply chain security and things like that. Okay, so now you're going to go over this, I'm assuming, in your demo. This is your documentation, and this is the demo app that we'll go over in a minute. I think this is actually where I wanted to start with that installation process. So right here, you come to the app and it says Connect Wallet, and I just happen to know through testing that you're going to need to install. If you click this, it doesn't really do much other than saying that it's not installed.
Yeah, it should be a link.
That, I'm sure, is something that you'll make a better experience over time. But this is the website for, this is the link for the extension, and I'm working on a profile right here that has no extensions installed. So this will be the first extension that I'm installing over here. So if you just click Add to Chrome, it gives you this. Can you see the pop-up that it brought up on your screen? Okay. So it's saying Add -platform extension. It can read and change all your data on all websites. Now, this is the first thing that I wanted to ask you about. Extensions can be really nasty, insecure things for if people aren't paying attention, and if people don't trust the developer of a web extension. So can you talk a little bit about the permissions that you're asking for this extension, and what you might be able to improve in later? This is just a demo, so this isn't the final extension. But tell us.
This permission needed. This permission we need to inject a small piece of code that allows the website to talk with the extension. There is two options. The first option is what we have right now. It just enabled it for all of the websites source code. But that's not convenient because then every dev developer would need to ask the extension to add the website to this list. Yeah. So so what this permission do is it basically, when you're opening up any page, it injects you a small piece of code like 40 kilobytes, which does a messaging, just basically a messaging layer between the website and the extension. So there is nothing, just like the functions like connect, like assign and broadcast. And this API is built with the it's built like it checks. So there is another feature called App Connect, which basically adds your website in the whitelist inside the extension storage, and only allowed websites can exchange information with the extension.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and add the extension, knowing that what it does there. So it's been installed, added to Chrome, click out of that, and now when I come back to the demo site, I'm going to just show you here if people
just pin it, I think.
Pin it here so people can see. That's how you would have quick access to the extension. So now you have this little icon. That's one of your Dash. That's the Dash platform extension. So now if I click on this, that brings up your extension user interface, and it wants you to set up a password. So I'm just going to enter a dummy password. Now it's asking me to enter that to get in and log in. This is just client-side stuff, right? This is not communicating with the server. This is just how the you're not registering anything with anybody with any kind of service on the back end. That's just protection for people that might have access to your actual machine and actual browser. And if you don't want them getting in, then it's password protected. Okay, so create a wallet. I'm going to go ahead and create the wallet. Now I'm going to go back to, let's see. First of all, I'm going to go stop sharing my screen for just a minute. And I'm going to go to Discord and get the link. Or you have a private key that you sent me.
Yeah, I prepared the identity.
Just so that I can use this extension. Let's see. Where is it? Let's see. Okay. Here it is. Now I'm going to go back to my demo and back to the site. Let's see. No, that's not it. Click the extension again. Okay. You have no identities. Import. Paste the private key. This is testnet, so no worries there. I've got some. You happen to have preloaded this with a balance. So I'm going to import that. Loading wallet. And it has a couple of these transactions already because that was the testing I did from yesterday. So let's try something on the site now. I'm going to refresh the site. Connect wallet.
Yeah, this is the App Connect flow, which basically asks the website to add the website as trusted to the extension. So once you allow the connection, you will be able to retrieve your current identity from the wallet, sign the sign the transactions and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah, without that, you can only invoke the connect function, which basically opens up that pop-up.
Okay, so now you see that I've got an identity stored in here.
Mm-hmm.
And
could
now,
you refresh once again?
Yep, I'll refresh one more time. I'm going to open up the inspector tab, developer tab, because that way I can long press this and empty cache and hard reload. Just because I might have.
Yeah, there was some random error with the proofs. I think just
it didn't work there. Yeah.
Was...
So now it's showing the past history from the past 21 hours. I connect my wallet again, and it's already up there now. People might be wondering about these. So I'm on the network tab. This is showing all the network activity that the website is doing. So first it's, downloading the actual document, the HTML page. And then after it gets the HTML page, it's asking for a bunch of JavaScript and CSS. And then it's doing a bunch of network calls to presumably the evolution nodes. So tell us about what this is all about and why you're getting errors.
Yeah, it's just the health check. I just incorrectly implemented the health check. I will fix it in the next version, I think tonight. Okay. Basically, it just gets the even out list from the core and then checks if it's actually working.
Okay, got it.
So no worries.
All right. We'll hide that again. Now that we've got the hard refresh, and let's try something. Let's see. Ryan was here. So this is a contract that you have set up apparently that just is like a message post board. So I'll go ahead and post this. It's going to bring up this window that's saying transaction approval. It's asking for a transaction approval. I'd be signing it with this identity.
It's currently only one identity.
Yep.
Oops.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh.
I just had to.
It was scary.
Okay.
As we can see, you can click close and it will close the window, and you can see the Ryan was here is already in there. Yeah. I didn't set the sorting yet in the front-end code. The post can be sorted. It can be randomly showed like on the Twitter, like on the X. But yeah, there is. Right now, it just doesn't use any sorting, so it's in the random order.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you connect the wallet, once again, you will see the delete button, so you can delete your message once again.
Okay. And then I was curious. Last time there was a link somewhere, I remember, that showed it on Platform Explorer. Or where was that?
I think it's not.
Oh, it's in my wallet.
It's just the dep I done pretty quickly.
Oh, not in
basically
my wallet.
Not there. Basically web coded.
Yeah. So presumably, I mean, you could add a button handler that showed the transaction on Platform Explorer here, but it's also right here. So 18th of July, documents batch, transaction. So here's showing it on testnet Platform Explorer. And the message here, Ryan was here. So this is definitely going to platform, and this application is just pulling it from platform. So no, you're not running any kind of servers in the background that's hosting this data at all. This is all the data is going to platform. All right. Yeah. So that's the whole that's the whole sequence. Anything else that you wanted to say about that right now?
No, I just wanted to go through the extension generally, like what's in there right now and what's our plans. We did a lot of work on the UI UX that we are just implementing it right now, and there is a lot of stuff actually. Could you bring
Yeah,
up my screen?
I'll switch it to you now. Let's see.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, there was a lot of internal work to make this happen. A lot of, and currently we only managed to stabilize the extension so it works without any bugs, and we currently implemented on the current. Oh, sorry, we only implemented the single identity. It only works for testnet. However, we went through, like, I've edited all of the code for the mainnet, but to enable the mainnet on the extension itself, we need to implement something on the front end to make this all stable. Right now, it's only testnet. It's only one identity, and but it basically does the work. Internally, it works on the Dash Platform SDK. This is the SDK which we were doing like past 2-3 months, and it's not feature complete like the DCJ SDK. It first it doesn't yet support tokens. It supports token queries, like you can query some tokens, but we're adding the rest token implementation, like creating tokens. Actually, you can create tokens through the data contract, but like minting tokens and other stuff, it should be ready very soon. We've also implemented the cryptographic proofs for DAPI gRPC queries. The DCG released Wasm bindings for that, and we was able to integrate it. So every query that you do, for example, if you opening up your extension and it loads up the data, the balance, it will be, so the query will be checked that the DAPI doesn't lie and it's always accurate. We went through mainnet and testnet, enabled mainnet support, testnet support, so you can change networks. Yeah, so basically it right now allows to make any document transitions, and token support is on the way. Yeah, what I wanted to say with the extension, that it basically works with any SDK. Since the communication layer is JSON based, the website can create a transaction with, for example, DCG SDK or from mobile SDK. It could be shared from any other device, and then you just send your transaction buffer, transaction bytes to the extension and ask it to sign it. So there is no lock on our SDK or DCG SDK. The extension works with any of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So right now
is now a good time to just briefly talk about the different approaches that you're taking versus DCG, because right now, so the developer experience is that for using your tools, a developer would build a website that is expected to contact a web extension for approving transactions. Whereas with DCG's approach, I believe their plan was to have the SDK, so developers would use the DCG SDK, but instead of those applications contacting a web extension, it would be contacting the mobile wallet through Bluetooth. Is that your understanding?
yeah, that's what I think will look like. So the SDK, the DCG SDK will have a function for connecting your debt to the mobile wallet, and you can ask some stuff. You can ask for signing the transaction. Yeah.
So the user experience in using an app that was built using the two different approaches. If I'm just a user of an application, say like the same Hello World application, and if I wanted to post a message using yours, we just went through that flow, but using DCGs, and again, we'll probably see DCG demo something Tuesday, so that's probably the better thing to look at. But in that flow, I would expect to post a message and then maybe see some notification come up on my phone instead of a notification coming up on the web browser itself to approve. So anyway, anything else you wanted to say about that, or?
No, not really. So
we'll wait.
Yeah. Our SDK is already published in the NPM. It's pretty easy to use.
Yeah, that is one of the big differences so far right now as well.
So it works in every environment. Right now there are tiny issues with the bundling in the production in the minified mode, which I think is still the case for the Wasm DCG SDK. It will be too, because there are some internal stuff. But it works in any environment. It works in the browser environment. It works in Node.js environment, and it even can work in a mobile environment like React Native. But there are some additional manipulations needed. Yeah. So you just import it. Then if you want to register, you can register a data contract. So you just have your schema. You just need to use the SDK to create a data contract. Then you create a state transition and basically broadcast it. If you want to push a document, it's basically similar. You prepare some parameters like data contract ID, owner ID, document type, and then you can create a document and broadcast it.
Can you scroll back up a bit? I have a follow-up question on that. So on the data contract, so you're saying const data contract equals await SDK dot data contracts dot create. That's a state transition, and so this is something that the web app or DApp, depending on how you want to call it, developer would write that part. But on the SDK.stateTransition.broadcast, is that code that would, is that all code that the DApp developers would write, or which part?
Actually not. I think there is two different parts. So the first part is Dash Platform SDK, which can create the transactions, and the extension part, which signs it. So in case of extension, so there is a missing actually step which signs. So it assumes you're signing it somewhere. So
that's what I was curious about.
There is a missing. Yeah, there is a missing step.
Like to contact the extension for the.
I will show you from the production code. I think that's it. For example, in that application that we looked at, so handle submit. So we have our data is just our message. Then
this is just real quick. This is the Dash Evolution feed. So this is that repo that we showed you already. It's open source already, so people can look at this on their own as well.
So basically, you request identity contract nonce. There is some handle here which I will get rid of it very soon. You basically create a state transition and then use the Dash Platform extension inside the window, which allows you to request the sign and broadcasting of the transaction.
So right. So when I clicked on the extension button and that pops up the little modal for the Dash Platform extension, what that's doing is it's injecting onto the window object this Dash Platform extension object.
Yes. Every time you visit the page, any page, a small code is getting injected, which allows you to talk with the extension. This is the code. It just injects the Dash platform extension inside the window where we have signer field, which have sign and broadcast. There are other methods like connect. So this is how it looks right now. So you do connect, which invokes the pop-up, and then you use a sign and broadcast function to request signing of your transaction. So what you need is just
what we were just looking at there.
Yeah, you need to
what we were just looking at there real quickly. That was in the node modules folder for the Dash platform SDK, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is not application code. This right here
is SDK code. It's SDK code. SDK. Yeah, it's just sorry. So it's just abstract signer, which in extension we have extension signer, which implements it. So it's like an abstract class in the Dash platform SDK, but extension. I think where is it? We have extension signer, which implements it.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, it's pretty easy, and it's pretty easy to use on the front end, because all you have to do is just create a document, create a state transition, and then invoke the sign broadcast function.
Yeah. So that line right there, that await window.dash platform extension .signer, that's the only tricky part that an application developer that's not really familiar with Web3, that's the part that they would have to learn as a new thing to learn. And this is why I'm talking with you about this stuff, because I'm looking forward to getting back to what my original hopes and plans were for the incubator, which is to reach out to Web2 developers and present to them a way that they can build applications that store data on Dash platform in a way that they can easily work with. And so easily work with to normal developers means, what's the NPM package that I have to install, and what's the application code that I have to write?
I think it could be reworked inside the package, into the package. Like we can move it out into the package that you install, and basically it would be just another library. It's just the first versions, and just made it like that. But it works, yeah. For easier use for the developer, the extension also injects the Dash platform SDK itself. So when you approve the access of the website to the extension, it also injects at Dash platform SDK, so you don't need to install any packages at all. Basically, it's possible, yeah. But yeah, we can do this as separate packages instead.
Michael Cluster says LFG, and Halawi says yes, make it as easy as possible for JS Dap devs. Yeah, and that's like the big unknown is how well we'll be able to connect with Web2 developers, and how open they will be to using this stuff. I mean, Web3 developers, they're going to know how this stuff works for the most part, and they're going to be used to that. But I just want to make it as easy as possible for Web2 developers that may not be as familiar.
So this is how it's working. So you basically create a state transition and then send to the Dash platform, to the extension, Dash platform extension, to sign it. Then the approved transaction comes in. So I wanted to go through the plans. So right now we only have the importing of identity, and to import it, you have to have a DET, because it's the only way where you can register an identity and export a private key. Yeah, so the next thing that we want to do is to implement the seed phrases. It's not there yet, but we had a lot of work internally to make it so the extension could reach the store, so it could. Yeah, there was a lot of background work. So the next stuff that we want to build is the seed phrase feature, and I wanted to go through the UI designs that we did for the extension. So this is how it's going to look in the future. So this is the home screen where you have the password, so you can unlock it. We have the homepage. It's done in light and dark theme together. Like we have the designs, this and that. On the home screen, you will be able to change your network, change your wallet. If you want, you can add additional wallets. For example, have different seed phrases. On the homepage, you can see the transactions, your tokens. It will implement it very soon. So the tokens already live, so we can already implement them in the extension. So it will be viewable inside the extension. This is the potential homepage. We didn't agree on that yet, but it's like a rework of the balance, this type of stuff. Yeah, so basically you will be able to see your balance. You will be able to send, withdraw your credits. You will be able to see your transactions, related transactions, tokens, manage your wallets, add new wallets, and of course setting new identities. So the list of identity would look something like this. So you can create a new identity. This is also the feature that we are going to implement pretty soon. Yeah, we are rushing for that. The settings page, where you can see some of the application, the extension preferences, the connected dApps. You can manage the authorized website that you already authorized to the extension. You can remove or add a new one.
Yeah. That reminds me, when I was doing my demo, I forgot to mention that in the extension, even though you're giving it full access to any site to modify all data on any site, which is very dangerous if people don't trust you, the application developer of the wallet extension. If they don't trust you, then there's that's kind of trouble. However, after you install the extension, you can authorize the extension to only work on specific websites and domains. So I'm not sure if you actually noticed that as well, but maybe I'll do another demo just to show that people can change that setting after they install it to just approve specific sites.
So yeah, this is the sample of transaction details. For example, receive or documents batch. So it pops up. So it's designed that when you click on the transaction, you will be able to see it straight right away. No need to redirect to the Platform Explorer, but we will also have a link to Platform Explorer. The tokens, so the most wanted feature, I think, right now in the community is integrate tokens everywhere. So we will also have it's inside the extension. We will be able to see which tokens user does have.
I have one suggestion while you're on that screen right there. I would probably knock down the numbers to something closer to, like, instead of 32 trillion credit balance, just knock it down to billion, and then instead of 320 dash, like 0.32 dash. Because first of all, there's no reason to be putting 320 dash on a browser wallet. Second of all, it's just these numbers. You got one number that's super big, the 32 trillion, and then you got
yeah, we was thinking about that.
So I think it would be better.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah,
knock off 3 of the zeros.
We will check. We will do it. Yeah. So the updated valid connection request. Basically, what I wanted to do here, Later, I think I will implement more broad permission system, so you can choose which identities the website can read, which have access to. For example, you can switch on the dev website. For example, you wanted to see any your other identities, or I don't know, some the permissions. So you can check, like, right now it's just adding you. It allows you to read your identity address, reverse transaction signing, but I think later we will add more specific permissions that you can turn on off on specific websites. Yeah, and this is the import seed phrase flow, which we will do pretty much soon. I think on the next week we will start implementing this feature. Uh, yeah, import your seed phrase. You either can import through 24 word or 12 word.
Import or create, right?
Import. It's currently import. We have a create flow, a create, but we first will do the import part because it's easier to implement and it's just
Okay.
have to be already there.
Yeah,
Yeah, because
creating is tricky because you have to create. You have to create
you have
keys.
to register. Yeah, you
Right?
have to create keys and register the identity to allow user to use it. So basically, creating wallet comes together with the register the identity. Um, yeah. So after you paste your seed phrase, you can create a password. Actually, I'm not sure it should be there. It should be here. I think you're setting the password only once when you first install the wallet. But anyway, so after import your seed phrases, your wallet is successfully created, and you're going back to the home screen.
Okay.
Yeah, and updated transaction approval. So this is what we worked through last month in terms of designs. We had really a lot of goals how to do this better, and how it's going to just look, basically. Still
Mhm.
a lot of work though. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm,
and just to reiterate, this wallet extension can be used with DCG's SDK if that's what
right.
people prefer.
Yes, of course. Very easy. Um, yeah. So the plans right now is right now we're kind of preparing the code base for the next features. Also, remember to mention that we started a UI kit library. Our front-end guy started a dash UI kit, which all of the components that he's implementing in our projects, like Platform Explorer and extension, we started from the extension. They're going to, let me actually show you. So it's kind of back and forth work because you have to make what is design. So you have to make, for example, a button, then he moves it inside the dash UI kit, which you wait a second. I have a link with the storybook. Um,
By UI kit, are you talking about like React components or?
yeah, right. It's React UI kit, which extension is will be using. So we want to make all the components reusable across projects like Platform Explorer extension. What else we will the depths, so it looks like consistent. And we started implementing it. Oh, it's VPN, I think. Yeah, so he's pulling everything inside the UI. So, for example, we have the icons, um, we have the button, and it's based on our design work, um, different components. Uh, yeah, so right now we're like kind of finishing with some finishing some clearing up the stuff and going to the importing the seed phrase, which we will start very soon. I think on the next week we should already start it, and I think at the end of the next week or next after the next week we should have it already, and it will be distributed automatically through the store. Yeah. So this the main thing that we are going to focus on is to support dash-paid seed phrases and not bothering with the importing seed phrases, importing private keys. Yeah, and there are a lot of features. Like we will go through all of the screens and implement them so it looks nice, works great, and provides the nice and convenient way for users to use the app applications. By the way, I proposed to, I suggested to make also implement some features on the Platform Explorer. For example, it would be possible to vote for the contested resource on the Platform Explorer, another use case for the extension, or you could paste unsigned transaction inside the Platform Explorer, verify and sign it with your extension. And there are much more features that could be done on the Platform Explorer. You could basically create a document straight on the Platform Explorer or edit documents that you already have. Yeah, and stuff like that. That's what we're going to go towards.
So the Platform Explorer is no longer just a read-only thing. You can also, you're saying, you're
Yeah.
going to, through the extension, add the ability to write to platform as well. Okay, looks good. Looks like yeah, there's a lot of motion going on right now. That's pretty exciting. We are 52 minutes in right now. I did plan on showing some of DCG's SDK and how that compares, but maybe we'll leave that till another stream or something. But anything else that you wanted to add before we close it out today then?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that this extension, we worked really hard like last month, last 2 months, and it's really going great, and we are kind of feel very, so it's kind of good that it's really happening. So we are really happy that it was released in the store, and the work is actually going. We have pretty good progress with it. Yeah, and I wanted to say that it would be a really great thing for accessing the Dash platform applications. A really good and convenient way for users to use it and see all of the information about their identities, like the balance and tokens, and it should be really great.
Just one more follow-up question to that, because you mentioned good experience. If you could go back to your demo app one more time.
This one?
The Vercel one, yeah. And then if you could just connect your wallet and go through the process of making another post. I just had one question. Do you, in an application where people are doing recurring, repeated, quickly repeated and recurring writes to platform, is it set up in such a way that you can approve for a certain time period or for your browser session, so you don't have to have the pop-up every time?
That's some of the features that we can add. Right now, it doesn't store any passwords inside the extension. So as soon as your transaction is signed, so the password gets cleared for the security reasons. But it's possible. It's possible to. It's possible to store some kind of session for your application, so you don't have to approve it each time.
Okay. And I know that there are probably, there are some security trade-offs there, security
Yeah,
versus
of course.
convenience. But I can imagine if there's a write-heavy application, people aren't going to want to have a pop-up after every write that they want to do. So
Probably, yeah.
okay, all right. Well, let's leave it there then. This was a great demo. I'm excited to have something to bring back. We had this series where we had 10 or 15 developers that we, Web 2 developers that we brought in. We went through a tutorial with Anthony, and we looked at, introducing Dash platform to them, and using the old SDK. There were it was good to get the ideas and the concepts across, but the actual tooling was not good enough to be impressive. And so what I'm planning to do is to take either your SDK or DCG's SDK or both, and retool the tutorial that we had to just have different tooling in the background. So instead of using the old SDK, use the new SDK, but have the same tutorial. And then everything would be a lot snappier, and just kind of go through that again with either some of the same or some new developers, reintroduce them now that we have better SDKs to work with. So that's kind of my plan going forward. And I'm just excited that it looks like in my testing from yesterday and earlier today, both of these SDKs are significantly faster, like way better performance. And even though they're both a little bit bloated in terms of size, for your approach, that's only going to be something that people that most of that size happens in the extension, not in the applications, right? Or no, the applications will still have to install the SDK, so it will bloat people's applications. But in terms of performance, in terms of speed performance, they're both fairly quick. I think it was, I'll probably do another stream showing actual performance comparison. And yeah, I think at some point down the road, maybe it makes sense to continue some of the work that Matt was doing with making a native JavaScript SDK. But I think I've got enough to the performance has improved enough, and we've got releases to the point where I'm happy using the Wasm-based approach until it's warranted to not use that. So one example of an area that I've been concerned about is if we had something where we were building, where we were integrating the Dash platform SDK into an app builder, where the app builder would inject the SDK into tens or hundreds or thousands of different websites. I would want that to be as performant as possible. But for one-off websites, something like a Shopify approach, for example, where Shopify gives people an app builder. So if you have an e-commerce site and you want to build a website around an e-commerce application, then Shopify gives you that ability. Or there are lots of different web app builders. And if we went down that approach with our Dash SDK, I wouldn't want to be bloating every single application built with those app builders with 6 or 10 megabytes adding on to their applications. So I think that there still is a good case to be made for continuing to pursue the native SDK approach at some point. But I think what we have is good enough to work with for now. So one last comment by, let's see. When can I add CoinSpot to my Dash wallet? Have you ever heard of CoinSpot, Mikhail?
No.
Maybe it's just somebody making an advertisement for CoinSpot, but who knows? I don't particularly know Bruce George Adlam, but it seems like a decent question. I just don't know anything about it. And then Halawe says the Siberian Wizard and a great team. Indeed. Well, let's end it there then. Mikhail, thanks for coming on, and
Thank you guys too.
we'll see you in the Discord. Bye, everyone.